Hi guys, welcome to my video. This time, I will tell you guys a one short story, Onigiri Miya by Uji Huni. Credit goes to author. So, if you guys want to read it, please copy paste link in description box. So, enjoy! Fourth year of elementary school, 10 years old. So, you both wanna go pro in the future? Young Aran had asked the twin once. They both were carbon copy of each other, at least to other people. To Aran though, they can't be more different. Except when they were inseparable on those moments, they had the same level of prettiness each. But still, if there was something that the twin agreed on, it was volleyball. We will be the greatest player Japan has ever had, Atsumo proclaimed, his head held high as he turned toward his brother. Right, Samu? The younger beamed at him. Right! Second year of high school, 17 years old. If you are so damn confident, so damn sure you will be the happier one, then come back when we are 8 years old, geezer. Wait until then to look in my face and say you were happier. When we are on our deathbed, I'm gonna turn and look at you right in your face and say I had the happier life. Suna and Ginjima looked at them, resting each other on the ground, with the slightest hint of hesitation. So I get Kita-san? Suna asked with a deepened expression, but clearly worried. This was the twin biggest argument that he has gone through several weeks now. They probably hurt themselves again. He's more concerned about Osamu. He knew how much he struggled to finally talk to his brother about his decision. And now Atsumo manner was wholesome. But Ginjima just smiled. Nah, they are fine, he assured. Or, well, they be at some point. Third year of high school, 18 years old. When Osamu told him he would quit volleyball after graduating high school, Atsumo took the news pretty maturely. Whatever his teammate or Osamu himself say mean nothing. And yeah, he might have overreacted a little bit. But can anyone blame him? His twin, his other half, his partner since birth, had practically abandoned him and their dream. Or well, Atsumo dream. Osamu had already told him once that he loved volleyball a tiny bit more than he does. But Atsumo thought this was just his brother trying to not feel jealous when the Japanese training camp didn't call him. He never thought it meant that his twin was on par with him on this. Since they started playing back in elementary school, he believed they would be competing against each other on the same team as long as their body let them. Both would be famous volleyball stars on an important team, but apparently only Atsumo wanted that. But that's okay, he's over it already. If he grumble every time Osamu bring up his future plan, that's just because he's tired of hearing him yep, he swear. He still love or complain about it though. Samu, come practice with me. He would try to convince him every day. Now that the season and tournament were done, and the school year was almost over, the volleyball club wasn't active as much. They still had morning practice, but the afternoon one had been cancelled due to the upcoming college entrance exam. And unfortunately for him, Osamu was going to take those. Cannot, need to study, the younger replied to the 10th time, without sparing him a glance. Why don't you call Suna? I'm sure he is as bored as you at his dorm. Atsumo while at being dismissed again. Of course he knows Osamu is busy, and that he could reach out to someone else of their friend from the club, but he doesn't want anyone else. He want to play with his twin. Please, 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 he begged, shooting off Osamu's laptop and getting himself a glare. Practice some set and only you can spike them right. When you the one to used to call me stress? I was young and immature. That was just last year, Samu. Before he can throw another tantrum, their mother, who had just arrived from work, intervened. Atsumo, honey, let Osamu be, she called gently, ruffling him and Osamu's hair as he passed by. He's pretty nervous about his entrance exam. We should be considerate. Don't bother him too much. For some reason, Atsumo felt like a toddler being scolded for misbehaving, and he thought was in a way. But ma! He whined again, pouting and trying to convince her. It's also not healthy for him to be bound for that all day. He should be more active. Their mother hummed, nodding at his reasoning. That is true, honey, she reasoned, smiling at the youngest betrayed. You should take break from time to time. Go play with your brother. But ma! It's Osamu turn to whine. She squeezed his arm slightly, a knowing look in her face. Come on, just for a while, she proposed, gesturing toward the setter beside. It would make your brother happy. Atsumo was beaming as an innocent smile. bouncing on his feet as his eyes begged Osamu to comply. The young tried to think of a way out of the situation, but ended up singing, "Okay, but just for a little while." That little while, because almost 3 hours of them going back and forth, trying some old and new play Atsumu wanted to try. Given Osamu initial resistance to take a break earlier, he thought his brother would call it quite after the first half an hour. But even if his twin had decided to not become a professional player, he still loved volleyball. That's what Atsumu don't understand. If Osamu is good and enjoy playing, why won't he want to stay by his side, keep doing it as a career? His brother is insecure about his ability. Not that hitting a sport profession once gave him a stable income. He was going to college, which was great. But he doesn't even want to apply to the one that had offered him a full scholarship if he joined their team. He's happy his brother is finding his own way. But it had to be away from him without volleyball together. He doesn't understand. "When is your exam?" he asked disinterestedly as he passed the ball to Osamu for him to set where his spike this time. "You know it doesn't matter how much you study, you will still be dumb scrub," he expected a retort as always, but his twin remained silent, so he picking up their ball from the other side of the net. "I know," he sighed quietly after a while, "but if I didn't do it, my grade will be way worse." Something sour on Atsumu's stomach. He's mostly teasing Osamu and in a way trying to get back at him for quitting volleyball. But the idiot is to his brother, and he was worried. There have been several nights in a row where the younger doesn't even go to bed, and when he finally does, he cries and sleeps more than in time in pure exhaustion. He's not even in college yet, and is already killing his car's brain cell. So Atsumu worry is totally justified. But now he feels bad. He can see Osamu's frustration and his sleep-deprived state. And when he managed to go to college, it will probably get worse. Or so has he heard. "What degree were you applying for again?" Osamu picked at him curiously. Atsumu has never shown any interest in his plan since their fight last year. This was the first time he even asked him something about it. "A dual major in culinary art and business administration," his twin replied, tilting his head. "With both, I can open up my own place." "Like a restaurant? Is that expensive scrap?" he scoffed, yanking the ball off his brother's grasp, feeling frustrated at all of a sudden. "Where are you even gonna get the money to start? Don't you dare try to use our life saving. We have like 15,000 yet saved up." Osamu bring cautiousness. "It's not even enough for a rental." "Exactly. Don't go wasting money we don't even have." Osamu snarled at him, clearly pissed. "As if I ever need your money, you bastard! As if I ever give you any!" Osamu went back to study after that, leaving Atsumu alone again. Stupid brother and his stupid dream, getting on his own feet, would be too much work, and he barely passing school. How does he expect to get into a nice college? He scoffed when he finally went back inside the house 3 hours. 3 hours later, and saw the younger pass out on his desk yet again. The scrub can barely keep himself alive. How pitiful. If Atsumu dropped a blanket around him and went for a quick trip to the store to buy Osamu the pudding he liked, it's all because he feels sorry for the scrub. Nothing more. First years of college, first gap year, 19 years old. Getting higher education was never really on Atsumu plan for his own life. In his head, volleyball was the only thing for his future. While he had received some sports scholarship, he was not really interested in pursuing another profession. He is an athlete through and through, not that he just other-wooded. A lot of amazing players from his generation also went to college. He just had it, don't understand it. In Osamu's case, the bastard that somehow managed to graduate high school without having to take remedy exam, and actually aced the entrance once he needed. He was finally a student in his select college. For his part, he took training more seriously and went to several tryouts from different teams. Although there was this one team he had his eyes set on. Musubi Black Jackal was one of his favorite teams through growing up. And when he found out one of the recruiters had been at his last national tournament, he freaked out. Surely he had catch his attention there. However, it had been weak and still no call from their end. So it's either they still hadn't decided yet or he was practically ghost. His mom doesn't like to see him mop all alone holed up in his room. So she dragged him to the kitchen where Osamu was practicing some of his recipes for an upcoming examination. he has for one of his course. Not only was his eye bag more prominent and his exhaustion worse, but his hair was also a mess. Unlike Atsumo, Osamu decided to go back to his natural color and let his root grow out. He had it find its white for some reason. Dyeing their hair is something they did together out of high school, and Atsumo thought they would still be doing it. But Osamu had complained about how his hair was so damaged from bleaching it so much, and it was getting pretty difficult to keep it decent with all his class and stress from college. So in conclusion, Osamu didn't look like shit, and he meant it from the bottom of his heart. Sumo, try this! The younger handed him a bowl, and while he was not sure what it was, he ate it without complaining, because as much as he had to admit it, anything that Osamu made always tastes heavenly to him. How is it? It's alright, he replied dryly. All his energy had been wiped out. He knew this type of thing takes time, but he still hoped for a reply from any team at this point. Not only had Musubi stopped contacting him, most of the team that had promised him that he would fit within their member had basically forgotten he exists. He's confident in his skill as a player. He knows he is good enough. But if other people don't give him a chance, how can he prove it? You okay, Scrub? Osamu poked his cheek wearily. You look like shit. You are one to talk, grumbled as his twin smiled slightly at him. Is this about the tie-out you did? He asked hesitantly, and Atsumo groaned and hid his face in his bowed arm, making his brother chuckle and ruffle his head in encouragement. Don't beat yourself down, Sumo. They'll call, I'm sure. He looked up to his twin, who went back to his task. Easy for him to say. Osamu could be playing for important college team, because not only could he still study whatever he wanted, but he could also still play volleyball semi-professionally. Atsumo only had volleyball, and he felt so alone, confused on what to do if no one called him back. But what if they don't? He whispered mostly to himself, but Osamu hummed in acknowledgement. Well, if they don't, there is that. You are gonna stay here as employee, so me and Ma will have to deal with you mopping us to death. Hey, don't be mean! But his brother interjected, smiling softly back at him as he handed Atsumo an onigiri. Apparently that's what he has been preparing since he entered the kitchen. That's only if they don't call back, and they will, so you have nothing to be scared of. Atsumo frowned as he munched on the Gibson snack. I'm not scared, you scrub. Sure you are not. The spicy tuna onigiri tastes delicious, and while it did manage to cheer him up just a little, he also felt so much nostalgia from it. Osamu used to make an underdeveloped recipe for this for him whenever he cried when he was younger. Whether it was a scraped knee, their mother scolding him, even just a bad day at school or practice, Osamu was always ready to comfort him in the best way he knew how, making food. While he was still not fully on with the idea, he supposed it should assume. His brother life had always orbited around culinary feat, be it to eat or make them. Still, Atsumo believed that with volleyball is where Osamu truly belonged. He cannot help but feel like he wants to cry, but he cannot do it in front of his twin. That's embarrassing. Before he can utter something, Osamu pat his hair again, more gently than what he used to. When Atsumo looked up to him, the younger is smiling softly at him. It's okay. You can cry. I'm busy and I won't see. So as Osamu turned around, Atsumo let all his emotion finally come out. Tears raining from his cheek as he continued to silently eat his tuna onigiri. Not only was he sad that no team seemed to want to scout him, where there's an inconvenience he can put off somehow, he's sure of it, but he's also incredibly sullen by the loss that his twin is not beside him. Sure, they are in the exam room right now, but what Atsumo means is that their paths are already divergent from each other way too much, and that's what actually scared him. So that's why he's so down nowadays. He's starting to notice that he has hang out with Osamu in forever. This is the first time this week they're having a proper conversation. Their schedules are not quite aligning up, and that's frustrated him. He scowled at his onigiri as if the damn thing was responsible for it all, and then he took it all in one go. Give me another! Osamu make him obey, and Atsumo a little more. Love him a little more, hate him a little less.